Hello and welcome everybody to Athens, Georgia, in the Steckman Coliseum of the campus of the University of Georgia. The 12th season of CSS tips off tonight. First hoops game of the season. It's Georgia entertaining Mississippi Valley State out of Itta Bena, Mississippi in the SWAC Conference. I'm Charlie Mack Alexander, along with my good partner, Wimp Sanderson. It's the season opener for both teams. Wimp, you've coached for a long time, over 350 victories. What's it like to go through your season opener? No matter how many you go through, is it still the jitters?
Well, I was always scared a little bit, Charlie Mack, but you're apprehensive, you're excited about having the opportunity to play. You're sort of wondering if you've covered everything in basketball practice and if your basketball team is going to get off to a good start.
Mississippi Valley State, a dynamic player in Joyner, number 3, he's a guard.
Yes, he's very, very quick. Handles the basketball extremely well. They do a lot of dribble penetrating in their offense. He'll do a good job doing that. Also shoots the 3 very well.
Preseason SEC Player of the Year for Georgia, Trey Tompkins, a high ankle sprain. He won't play tonight, maybe for the next couple of weeks, but Travis Leslie will. Both of these guys passed up the NBA last year to play.
What an athlete. Travis Leslie can jump out of the gym. 6'4" forward. You're going to see a lot of lob passes to the backside for him to dunk the basketball. Probably the best athlete in the SEC, and certainly a first-team all-SEC performer.
Both these teams expected to make a lot of noise in their respective conferences. Stay tuned for the tip-off. We're coming right back here on CSS. It's great to be alive in this wonderful country, and it's great to be around the hardwoods, and you can see the excitement from some of the student body here at the University of Georgia for the first basketball game of the season. Georgia has played one exhibition game, Wimp, and they won that easily over Augusta State, but this one's for real.
Well, it certainly is, Charlie Mag. Georgia certainly is looking for an improved season. Mark Fox got this basketball program off to a good start last season.
Mississippi Valley State, the Delta Devils out of Itta Bena, Mississippi. They don't have a gym to practice in. They have to go 30 miles away to Greenwood to practice. Sean Wood's third season. He hopes this is going to be a big one. Both coaches do. So much anticipation. Starting off at one guard for Mississippi Valley State, number 3, Terrence Joyner, the junior from Mendenhall, Mississippi. His first year at Valley. He has been at Eastern Utah Community College and New Mexico State. The other guard, number 11, is Angelo Jackson, a senior from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's out of junior college as well. Both these players 6'1", 6'2". He is from Arkansas, Fort Smith Community College. Head one forward, 22, Orlando Smith, a senior from Columbus, Mississippi. He walked on for 3 straight years. This season, he has been rewarded with a scholarship. He's 6'5", 210. He's had double-doubles in both exhibition games. Number 23 is Philando Jones, a junior from Greenwood, Mississippi, is also a junior college player out of Mississippi Delta and Moorhead, 6'4", 210. And Jason Holmes, 42, the junior from Chicago, Illinois, 6'9", 225. And that's your starting lineup for the Delta Devils from Mississippi Valley State. Let's go to the Georgia Bulldogs now. One guard, number 3, Dustin Ware, the junior from Powder Springs, Georgia, 5'11", 182. Transfer number 22, a very exciting player. Could be the missing piece to the puzzle. Gerald Robinson, a junior from Nashville, 6'1", 180. And Travis Leslie, the frequent flyer, 36 dunks last season, a junior from Decatur, Georgia, 6'4", 205. Number 20, Connor Nolte, a junior from Alpharetta, 6'7", 205. And in the middle, number 50, Jeremy Price, senior from Decatur, Georgia, Columbia High School, 6'8", and 270. And now the coaches. Sean Woods, a great player at the University of Kentucky. He's in their Hall of Fame, their Basketball Hall of Fame. His number has been retired and hangs in the rafters of Rupp Arena. And now Coach Mark Fox. He came here from Nevada last year. He won at least 21 games each season over 5 seasons and played in the postseason in each of those 5 years. Wimp last year, Georgia at home, was 12-4 and 5-3 in the SEC.
Well, certainly this is a much improved basketball team. Not only that, I think it's a much improved basketball program, Charlie Mack. Mark and his staff have done an excellent job of really getting this basketball team off to a really good start last year in their first year, and have gotten a few good players, a few good recruits, so it should be a good season for Georgia. Mississippi Valley, I think, is also improved.
Saw the officials moments ago, Gary Maxwell, the veteran, and John Heatley and Brian Shea. Georgia in the home whites and Mississippi Valley in their traveling green uniforms. It'll be Price and Holmes to jump it up in a big circle. This hoop season is just moments from getting underway. The 12th for CSS. We're underway. Opening tap controlled by the Delta Devils. Hand off deep out front. Working inside on the bounce to the big fella Holmes. Backing in on Price. Gets in the lane and steps are called.
Well, they end up changing pivot feet then. They got the basketball inside. Georgia's in a pretty tough man-to-man defense. Now you're going to see Mississippi Valley in pretty much a 2-2-1 zone press. Remember, this young man played for Rick Pitino.
And uses his system.
Yes, he does.
And uses it a lot. Out front working with it. Robinson wide open, Nolte with a left hand, and it's good. And it's a two-pointer. He was on the line. He's a transfer from Furman.
All set up by Gerald Robinson, a transfer from Tennessee State who penetrated and pitched, and the little man, a little transfer from Furman University, busted the 2.
5 left side, and the whistle sounds, and we got a foul on Georgia as Philando Jones took it baseline.
Well, what happens there, Charlie Mack, is you can't use your hands on defense. You got to play with your feet. Basketball went down the baseline. They used their hands, and the foul was called.
Kick out. Now working out deep is Terrence Joyner. On the switch out front, big fella Price, and then drops down deep. Comes in the left corner, and the shot way off the mark, and the rebound easily pulled down by Travis Leslie. Off the Ware. Handout. Robinson jumps, fires, no good. Rebound pulled down by number 22, Orlando Smith. Hang back, no. Put back, blocked away by Travis Leslie, and the ball sails out of bounds. It'll stay with Mississippi Valley.
Well, Mississippi Valley would like to get that basketball down the floor as quick as possible, get as good a shot as possible. They like to run. They're going to play with 11 people tonight. They feel like they're shooting the ball better than they shot it last year. They're a little bit more mature than they were last year. Here they got the basketball on the inside.
In there again, and the shot is blocked away by Price, and here comes Leslie. Deals it off, driving in there, Ware, and it's good.
Really good fast break by Georgia. Ware and Leslie and Robinson are really 3 good perimeter players, although you think about Leslie a little bit as a small forward. He can play the perimeter pretty well at the 2 or even the 1 spot.
Trying to draw the foul, won't go, but the rebound by Holmes. He's double teamed, lowers the shoulder, stripped away, picked up and out of there with it. Nolte up ahead to Robinson, scoops it off Ware, back to Robinson, 10-footer baseline, got it.
Young man with a lot of quickness, I'm referring to Gerald Robinson, who really is quick, really going to handle the basketball well for Georgia. Came here from Tennessee State last year and set out and going to be terrific.
Well, so Georgia's off to a 6-0 lead. First 6 points of the game. Greatest basketball game ever played. You saw Leitner hitting the open shot. This was a 1992 103-102 Duke. They went on to win the national championship. And the play before, Sean Woods, the Mississippi Valley State coach, banks it in on a 10-foot runner. That could have been the biggest shot in college basketball history. And they say the greatest game, and I wouldn't doubt that.
Well, that's close to it if it wasn't. It was a heck of a game and a heck of a last shot by Duke.
And now, of course, Sean Woods coaching across the way in his third season at Mississippi Valley State, going against the Georgia zone. Here's a quick three straight away off the back iron, pulled down by Ware. Lobbed ahead, Price too tall for him, and it sails out of bounds. Turnover, Georgia.
Good thought by Ware. Certainly you want your big guys to run, Charlie Mack. If they'll run, you can get the basketball to them down at the basket. The pass was a little bit errant, but the thought was very good.
Mississippi Valley State from the field is 0 of 6. They haven't scratched yet. Joyner splits a double team. Fakes, dumps it down low. Nice pass. The shot on the second try goes home for Orlando Smith, and that's the Devils' first basket.
Well, you can't get into the press unless you score, and they finally made the first basket, certainly off an offensive rebound.
Leslie leaves it off for Nolte. He's fouled. The shot was blocked, but he drew body contact first and should be going to the line for 2.
Well, the one thing you want to do, Charlie Mack, if you break that press, is take the ball to the hole on the other end and get something, if at all possible. Get you a cheap basket if they pressure you. They did that. They did a nice job. Here's the double team situation here. He got by, he kicked it to the backside. Backside finally got it in the basket, and then your zone press starts 2-2-1. And as they do that, Georgia gets through it. Basketball gets down to the basket, and certainly a really good try by Nolte. He couldn't make the shot, but he's going to the line to shoot the 1-and-1 and miss the first free throw.
Transfer from Furman, shot for the Paladins 70% from the line. He was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He was a Southern Conference All-Academic team member. He hits the next free throw. And Georgia, with just under 17 minutes to play in the first half, has got a 5-point lead at 7-2.
Charlie Mack, you're going to see a lot of double teams by Georgia on screens. So look for that, and look for it to sort of get Mississippi Valley out of sync a little bit.
Hand check on Georgia.
Hand check.
7-2, Georgia leads. Mississippi Valley State, we should mention, is without a couple of players. Shannon Bailing, they're still waiting on word about his eligibility, and they got a big kid named Crosby who should be eligible in December. Not playing with them tonight. Feed in the lane. Holmes spins, fires, rejected away. Knocking it out of there is Chris Barnes, the 6'8", 240 senior out of Riverdale, Georgia.
Well, in talking with Sean today, it feels like here's a good replay of this block right down at the basket, and they tattooed Spalding on his forehead.
Long range, no-look pass inside. Nice, and Holmes lays it in. Nice play over Price.
Well, it was. They had a no-look situation by the Georgia defense on the inside. He didn't see the guy coming from the back, and he laid it in on him.
Left side, inside. Leslie! There's frequent flyer mile number 1 of the season.
Well, that's what we talked about in honoring him as our player of the game for Georgia. He's a high diver and can really stuff that basketball.
Top of the circle, throwing it out. Jackson, under duress, hits it left side of the key. D'Angelo Jackson, the senior from Milwaukee, cuts a lead to 3.
Here's your pressure. Here's your press. The ball's got to get in the middle, out of bounds situation there. You've got to be alert as to where you are. First basketball games of the season, attacking the press, Charlie Mack, is a little bit difficult.
All right. There's a replay, Wimp, and here's Price. Inside, Leslie rams it home. Georgia up 3 early on here in Athens. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Call Geico at 1-800-947-AUTO. That's 1-800-947-AUTO or visit geico.com. Here we go. Mississippi Valley State has the basketball, down 3 to Georgia. Georgia the man-to-man.
A lot of crossing, a little bit of a motion offense here. They'll run several different offensive sets, and this is their motion set after the timeout, Charlie Mack.
Joyner gives it up. Cross court, new player in the game, guns and fires and scores. That's Mark Holmes, who's the brother of Jason Holmes, who started the game. Mark Holmes is 6'6", 215, sophomore from Chicago, came out of Guerin College Prep. Got a tie ball game, our first tie. The freshman, last year's Georgia Mr. Basketball, a little bit of the nerves went. Marcus Thornton, the freshman from Atlanta's Westlake High School.
Marcus Thornton, a very fine basketball player. He originally signed with Clemson, and when they made a coaching change, he came to the Georgia team, and certainly a very good basketball player. But you're right, a little bit nervous.
That was Georgia's third turnover. Ball is knocked away by Robinson. It is saved and then stolen back by Robinson. And a reach around out front by Terrence Joyner. That's close to being intentional.
Oh, that's a very good call, Charlie Mack. That is actually an intentional foul. There's no doubt about it. Georgia had the breakaway, ready to go down the floor, grabbed him by the top, and that's an intentional foul, but it wasn't called that way.
Two more players coming in for the Dogs as Robinson has a seat and gets the blow. Back in for Georgia, Jeremy Price, who started the game. And out is Chris Barnes.
Charlie Mack, you know, if I'd have been coaching, I wouldn't have said a word to the official on that.
Oh, of course you would. And then if you said something to him, it would have been a whisper.
Oh, yes.
A little sloppy play there, and the ball gets out of bounds, and it's touched last by Georgia. That's the fourth turnover against the Dogs. 9 apiece. Just over 14.5 minutes to go in the first half. This is what Sean Woods wanted. Got down early, but wanted to come back, keep it close, and have a chance.
Well, you see Georgia with a wholesale substituting. They're letting these young guys play, and they're doing a pretty darn good job, I think, of learning the ropes, because Mississippi Valley is pretty much pressuring and shooting the basketball a little bit better than when they started.
Valley has its first lead of the half at 12-9. They were down, keep in mind, 6-0. Thornton trapped out front. Gets it away. Left baseline, reverse layup, and a beauty by Jeremy Price. He is expected to be a major contributor. He could be one of the top men in the SEC by the time this thing is over. We've got a foul out front on the drive, on the floor.
Here you see on the free play, you see a really good pass inside and a back under dunk. Good move there, and then we end up in a situation where Terrence Joyner gets the basketball, he gets it to the floor, gets it down the floor to the basket, and ends up getting fouled. This is a team that really does a good job of dribble penetration.
Nolte back in the game for the Dogs. Pressure in the corner, going to fire anyway, and it's back-to-back threes for D'Angelo Jackson. Last year he shot 37.5% from long range. In the middle, nice lob pass, and the bank shot no good, but going to the free throw line will be Dante Williams, a true freshman from Ellenwood, Georgia, 6'9" and 210.
Well, the one thing that Gerald Robinson brings to this team, Charlie Mack, as we talked about a transfer from Tennessee State, is his ability to penetrate with the basketball and pitch, and he's done that twice tonight. The first basket of the game he pitched, did the same thing again here and pitched to Williams for an opportunity to make the field goal, but got fouled. So Robinson is a big key, a big transfer for the University of Georgia. Makes him pretty solid at the point position, because not only can he play the point, but Dustin Ware can interchange with him. Either one of them can play the 1 or the 2.
Darian Donald, number 1, checks in, the senior from Columbus, Mississippi. 6'5", 185. Georgia 1 of 4 from the stripe. Visitors up 4. Williams can cut it to 3. Cut to 3 on Williams' charity toss. Mississippi Valley with Ware and Vincent Williams at the guards out front. Strong drive to the hoop, back slap from behind, and the ball will stay with Mississippi Valley State.
Well, pretty close call there. I think they're going to give it back to the Whites. Don't give it back to Georgia because it did come off his foot. You'll see that this gives an opportunity for Mississippi Valley to continue to press. They like to press, of course, after the made baskets, but after a violation or mistake, they're still in their good 2-2-1 press.
Delta Devils out of the Southwest Conference, Southwestern Athletic Conference, up 3. Ware out at long range. Angles it over to Leslie. 15 to shoot. Ware open, guns it. Off the back iron, no good. Leslie comes in, tries to get the rebound. He may be called over the back, and he is. That's the foul on Leslie.
Georgia got a good look, but just an over-the-back call, which was absolutely correct. This Georgia basketball team is very, very talented compared to what they have been in the last several years. I think Mark Fox and his staff have done a good job.
Pull up in the lane, won't go, and Nolte clears it out to Robinson, and here he comes. Going to take it to the hole, and he's fouled on the floor.
Well, he can do that. He can take it to the hole. Here you're going to see Robinson, as we talked about, very skilled with the basketball, gets fouled down at the basket. He's either creating a good situation for his other teammates or getting a good shot himself with that great dribble drive.
Ware looks at his own. Robinson, feed in, no look past Leslie, kick out, great rotation of Robinson on fire.
Good
and he got it for 3. And the game is tied, second tie at 15 apiece. It was tied previously at 9.
Made the zone work then. They moved the basketball, moved the zone on defense, and got the really good look.
In low, Holmes stops, throws it up, knocked away by Price. Nolte saves it, and now Robinson will direct traffic.
Well, he can direct it. I think he's really going to be a big asset to this Georgia basketball team this season. Somebody that can get the ball to the open people.
Last year in non-conference games, Georgia here was 7-1. There's the miss, and then the clear out by D'Angelo Jackson trying to break the tie. Quick shot, Rainbow, too strong. Rebound Holmes, kick out. The drive, the pump, way off Leslie. Tries to keep it alive and then gets it right back. Not many threes in this ball game.
And here you're going to see excellent ball movement against that zone, and Leslie pops it to the outside. He's an excellent shooter, an excellent athlete, but really great ball movement by Georgia.
We're tied at 15 with 11:35 to play in the first half here in Athens, Georgia, at the Stegeman Coliseum. Lid lifter for the 2010 campaign here on CSS. Tied at 15, Mississippi Valley State here at Georgia in Athens. Friends, college basketball season is here right on CSS. So don't miss live men's and women's matchups from the SEC, Conference USA, the Sun Belt, the ACC, and Big East. Visit CSSSports.com to see the complete schedule of over 185 games. That's a lot of basketball games.
Well, it certainly is a lot of basketball games. Basketball season is off to a rip-roaring start. A lot of tournaments, a lot of non-conference play. Should be a great season.
Well, here we go. Georgia basketball. On the inbounds play, going against the zone. Robinson penetrating kick, and here's Ware for three, and it's good. Georgia retakes the lead at 18-15.
Well, with Ware and Leslie on the wings, they have a good shooting basketball team on the perimeter, no doubt about it.
7-0 run by Georgia. Georgia, man-to-man, left side, the penetration. Tough shot, won't go. Pulling it down is Price for Georgia. Under 11 minutes now in the first half. Charlie Mack Alexander with Wimp Sanderson. Here's a pull-up. Too strong, kicks off hard. Ball is free and then picked up very alertly by Mark Holmes. Palm the basketball. Wimp, we saw people get away with that for a long, long time, and then the Iverson rule comes in, and we're seeing more of the palm that carrying the basketball.
Contention, they really try to watch that now. Certainly if you're taking the thing and on the dribble with it because you get an advantage. Back to this basketball game here, Georgia needs to do a little bit better job on the offensive glass. They don't have anybody surrounding the glass, and they've got to get some second and third shots.
Georgia's 7-0 run. Nolte, left hand, rainbow, finds the pot of gold. Starting to shoot a little better from three now.
Yeah, if you can make some of those, you don't need any offensive boards, but they do need to get on the boards a little bit more. This basketball team tonight, Mississippi Valley, has improved over last season. They didn't shoot it very well last year. They look like they're improved shooting the basketball. Sean says they're a little bit more mature than they were last year. Most of the guys that played last year are back this year. So this team is, I think, shown a great deal of improvement of not only shooting the basketball, but knowing how to play.
Two teams exchange threes. Let's see if this one goes. No, it won't go. Donald hit one just moments ago for Valley State. 21-18 home folks. Thinking about it was Mark Holmes. Going against Nolte, decides better and throws it out front to Kevin Burwell, a senior from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He is a very good shooter. He's going to penetrate and lay one up and in there with a left hand on a sweet move, and that cuts the Georgia lead to a single digit.
Well, what happens here is they like to dribble and penetrate a lot. That's what Sean did in college. He likes to continue to do that. He's got some guys that can really put it on the floor.
Leslie has it knocked away from behind, and here comes Holmes. He's going to pull up and shoot from the elbow, and it's good.
Mark Fox can get him a timeout because it's a little bit too easy there. They're not getting to the basketball quick enough defensively, speaking of Georgia.
Another lead change. Devils up one, 22-21. Leslie decked, no foul call. Ball loose and then laid up and missed. Now here comes Mississippi Valley State with Burwell. Challenged, kicks it out, almost throws it away, does throw it away. 22-21 Mississippi Valley State.
Well, this Georgia basketball team would like to at some point in time run a little triangle offense. They're very good at that, and it was an offense that the Lakers run a great deal, brought on by the great and the late Tex Winter, who was a great basketball coach at Kansas State. They haven't run much of that today because Mississippi Valley is playing the zone.
Robinson, sweet scoop shot to put Georgia back up by one. Baseline move, shut down, forcing the shot. No good, bad shot. Rebound Georgia off to Robinson and a two-handed stuff. And Georgia now up by three.
Try to back up the fact that nobody's back. Safety that we had. Mississippi Valley had nobody back for the safety and easy layup. You've got to have somebody back defensively.
Here's the second carry by Mississippi Valley State and a turnover against the Delta Devils. They will check back in Terrence Joyner. Now in tonight for the first time. Number 10 for the Devils, and that is Ricky Lamb from Jacksonville, Florida, and Raines High School, a 6'6" sophomore.
Both these teams are playing a lot of people. Sean told me he was going to play 11, and I felt like that Mark was going to play almost that many at Georgia. So in this basketball game, they're trying to get a really good look at everybody. Naturally, they want to win the game. One of them does, but they certainly are trying to get a good look.
Robinson out of the ball game, has 9 points, has hit his last 4, and he gets a blow over on the dog bench. Where to Nolte, drives baseline, blocked away, bodies fly, ball out of bounds, and Georgia will keep it. Timeout on the court. 7:45 to go until the intermission here in Athens. 25-22, Georgia Bulldogs. We're coming right back. We've got a tight ball game, but as far as shooting, Mississippi Valley just 9-23, but the Dogs are 10-17. The last 2 baskets were by Gerald Robinson, the junior transfer from Tennessee State in Nashville.
Well, both of these baskets are certainly the result of a guy who can really handle a basketball, has great quickness. He came here last year and he set out. Transferoo stepped in this year as a starting point guard in practice, and I think a guy with his ability does a good job of not only scoring himself but getting the ball to the open people and opening up the court.
Leading scorer for Valley is Jackson, who has 8. He's hit 2 of 3 threes, and for Georgia, Robinson 9, Nolte 6. Leslie has just 2, and he's handling the ball now out front. Ware collects it. Georgia by 3. Against the zone, Leslie pulls up, fires too strong off the back iron, and clearing it out is Burwell. Ware has not met a shot he doesn't like, and he likes that one a lot, and we got another tie.
Well, Terrence Joyner busted another shot, and he's a young man who's been at the junior college, got some experience on him, and they do a good job of running the floor and getting the open shot pretty quick.
Our third tie of the half. Leslie tries to break it, can't, but Price can, and Georgia's got the lead back by a deuce.
That's the one thing that Georgia needs to do, is to really do a little bit better job on the offensive glass. They've got to get some second and third shots. Mississippi Valley has not done a real bad job doing that in these first few minutes.
Both these teams had very tough schedules, and that will certainly help when it comes to tournament time. Both hope they'll be in the big dance, and I think both think they will be. High screen out front. Burwell deals it off. Against Nolte, ball is stripped away, driving in hard with it. There's Ricky Lamb, and we got a foul.
Well, we got a situation where the foul underneath, the official underneath didn't call the foul, and the outside official did. Mark Fox didn't think that he was in position to call it. You're going to see a lot of dribble drives, Charlie Mack, by this basketball team. Kentucky's done that when Sean played, and he played against my teams as well. So I know a little bit about what his thinking is, and they like to dribble drive as much as they can and shoot the basketball off the drive or get the basketball to the open people.
Nolte picks up his second foul of the half. Georgia up 2. Nearing the 6-minute mark and a half. Trying to work that thing down low. Can't do it. At least not yet. Still plenty of time. They don't take much time to shoot it though, Wimp. Not real patient. There's a wild shot, no good. Backside rebound, Price. Here comes Williams. Leslie hits the back of the backboard, and now the other way. Here comes Valley State. Where the lob. Lamb the shot, and he got it. Tied again. That's our 4th tie of the half.
Very good ball movement. You know, Charlie Mack, the most difficult thing in the game of basketball is to defend the dribbler, to guard the ball. That is so hard to do. Coaches spend a lot of time on working very hard to defend the dribbler. Move your feet, keep your hands out of it, and you're going to see tonight the offensive teams trying to take the ball to the hole on the dribble drive, and the defensive teams having a little bit of a difficult time defending them. I think that's a good point for young guys to watch and try to improve on.
Terrence Joyner picks up his second foul of the half. If this press looks familiar, it's a black press. They have a white press too, and that's what Pitino taught Sean Woods. Nice feet inside. And going to the charity stripe will be Jeremy Price, who last year shot about 70% from the line. Here's another look at that shot.
Here's a perfect example of a young man getting by the defense on the dribble. And what that does is it sets up a shot at the basket because the back man on the defense tried to help. So my point is hopefully well taken. You've got to defend the dribbler. And he didn't do a very good job there. Georgia got the shot and Price to the line.
Price, a lot expected of him. Again, they think he could be one of the best men in the SEC, best big men. Last year against Kentucky, he had a great game. He had 19 points in 20 minutes. There's a shot missed, and then Amos Sturdivant clears it off.
Well, when Tompkins gets back, he'll have some meat in there. Pretty good size, 2 young men.
Wild shot. Here comes Leslie. Up ahead, Williams. Back to Leslie in the stuff. That's his second frequent flyer dunk. 4th dunk. Actually, for Georgia. Up ahead. Nice catch and save by the big fella. Robinson, wraparound pass, baseline jumpers off there, won't go for Price. Here come the Devils, and in a hurry, it's Burwell. He'll lose it, fake and fire, no. Ball loose, he gets it back. The little guy fires it up and off the magic square. And now it's a 1-point game again. Georgia up 30-29, nearing the 4-minute mark.
Good offensive board work by Valley. Georgia's doing a good job of getting the basketball to the open man. They're really distributing the basketball pretty well, pretty unselfish. Here's a good back door. Got him on a walk.
Got him on a walk. Here's another look at it, Wimp.
Here you see they're really good giving the basketball up on the dribble, on the fast break. Got the ball to the big guy who can really sky for an easy shot.
Georgia now has committed 8 turnovers. There's a look at Leslie. Again, he passed up a chance to go to the NBA. Figured he needed more seasoning, and they expect him to be something else. He was last year. As a freshman, he was just so-so, but then broke out last year. Strong drive, Burwell, rejected away. The block by Barnes. Lead pass ahead. Leslie blocked from behind, and a foul is called on Lamb. Georgia leads at 30-29 with 7 ticks over 4 minutes to go in the half, and there's a rejection.
Well, the guard gets by the Georgia guard, but they're ready to block it at the basket, and Georgia's done a nice job of getting the basketball out and running the break. They're getting some cheap baskets and some easy shots. Haven't made all of them, but they're going to the line. So I like the way Georgia's trying to really get the ball out to the open man. They got 3 guards really playing rather than 2, and they're flying down the floor. I think either got a technical foul or something called technical foul.
It's on Sean Woods.
On Sean Wood. I'm not sure why, but there was a discussion over there, and they got into it a little bit. And
he thought it was goaltending, Wimp.
Okay.
And voiced his great displeasure. And
okay, Gary Maxwell teed him up. I don't think he got out of the box. He just said something, and Gary put the T on him.
It wasn't, would you like to go to dinner after the game and I'm picking up the check? Don't think it was along those lines at all. So Ware will shoot the technical fouls, and the Dogs will get the ball back. Georgia 4 of 7 from the line.
I'll tell you something, Charlie, Matt. We've got a pretty highly competitive basketball game here for these first 16 minutes of this game. Mississippi Valley's come in here and not been intimidated at all, and Georgia's trying to play a lot of people and get their people on the ground for the first game. So this has been a pretty good basketball game for these first 16 minutes.
Now Leslie, who was fouled, will be at the line. Travis Leslie, 6'4" guard forward from Decatur and Columbus High School, named the Class 4A Player of the Year by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution in 2008. Averaged almost 21.5 points, 9 boards, and 4 assists per game for Columbia High School. They won the 2008 Georgia State 4A title, their second in 3 years at the time. Georgia up 32-29.
Well, selected as an all-SEC member in the preseason, which is certainly a big honor. A lot of good basketball players playing in this league. So he was a great player last year, and I think he continues to be one. Going to continue to be one this year. Leslie
has 6 points. He had a team-high 36 dunks last season. Led Georgia in offensive rebounding and assists during SEC games, and so Valley State answers and cuts a lead to 2.
Well, Georgia's not getting enough defensive pressure on the perimeter people. I think that's hurt him a little bit. And one of the reasons they haven't is because the guy will dribble drive by them too much. So they're going to have to get up with their defense and get in the nose of some of these Mississippi Valley guys. They're shooting the basketball much better than they did last year.
Leslie has 8 now. And will come the other way with it. There's timeout on the court. Georgia leads Mississippi Valley State out of the Southwestern Athletic Conference by 36-32. And the action has been fast and furious after starting off slowly and Valley State being down 6 to begin the game. This was a pretty good one. Stick around. We got a lot more excitement coming your way on CSS. Teams are heating up from long range. Valley State 6 of 8 from behind the arc. Georgia 3 of 5, and Georgia holds a slim 4-point lead. Georgia fans, you won't want to miss the Dog Report every Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern It's an in-depth look at everything in the world of Bulldog athletics, and it's only on CSX. We got a pretty good ball game going.
We've got a very good basketball game. Both these teams are playing hard, getting the break and going to the other end, shooting the basketball pretty well. Mississippi Valley stayed in the game pretty well. Good basketball game.
Dogs with the ball working at full court. Token pressure as Robinson spins and leaves it off for Leslie. He'll reset. Price out to Robinson. Works around the screen and into the lane. And they're a collision, and Mississippi Valley State will have the basketball. At home, Georgia last season, as we mentioned, 12-4 and 5-3 against SEC teams. They beat Tennessee, Vanderbilt, South Carolina, Bama, and Florida right here at the Stegeman Coliseum. Also had a big win in Duluth. They beat the Fighting Illini out of the Big Ten. Georgia up 4 with 3 minutes to go in the half. Entry pass out of bounds. They couldn't handle it. Sturdivant couldn't. Remember, at halftime, we'll send you to Bob Neal, our good friend, for a long, long time in our Atlanta studios for a little more with Georgia coach Mark Fox. That's coming up at halftime here on CSX. Robinson checked by Jackson. Now we'll spread it. Robinson, a travel.
Well, we got a good back door there. Price flashed.
He may be injured.
And got the basketball, and as that happens, you try to go the back door with your weak side guard. He went there and ended up traveling in the lane. Robinson's had a bad back, Charlie Mack. He hasn't been really well during this preseason practice area, and I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody get him out of there because his back, they are getting him out right now. So he's struggling a little bit with that injury, and Vincent Williams is going to come in and give him a rest. That's certainly a big blow to Georgia right now if he can't play, especially with Trey Tompkins out.
10 turnovers against the Dogs now. Here come the Devils. Down just 4, 2:30 to go in the half. A very, very entertaining basketball game. Three is good, and there's the fourth three.
You have to get over that screen. You've got to get over that screen, and wasn't a whole lot of effort made by Chris Barnes to get over that screen. And if you don't do that, anybody can shoot it, and they can shoot you out of this basketball game pretty quick. You must contest the threes, Charlie Mack.
Valley State as a team is 7 of 9 from behind the arc. A bump out over the wing right in front of the Mississippi Valley State bench. Sean Woods has got to really be pleased the way his team is playing.
He's pleading his case to the official that didn't call the foul. That's the way to do it, Charlie Mack.
Don't get the other guy, not the guy that tees you up.
Yeah. Get you a new one.
Cleared off after the miss land. Now Burwell, who has been very, very effective, to chase him out front. Kick out. Dribble drive, feed off inside. And we got a foul.
Got 3 seconds in the lane.
3 seconds in the lane.
You see a lot of penetration, a lot of passing the basketball, and then that catcher getting that ball and going with it to the basket. So you've got to defend the dribbler if you're Georgia. If you don't do that, you're going to get beat.
Vincent Williams, high post. Off to Ware. He'll fire. Won't go in an easy rebound for Orlando Smith. Up ahead quickly. Won't take them long to shoot. Won't take them long to hit either.
I tell you what, these guys are shooting the ball much, much better than they did last year. And the 30% last year, didn't shoot the free throws very well. The threes weren't very good. Tonight, they are doing a nice job of getting the basketball to the open people and knocking it home.
Another lead change, and there's a steal by the Devils. Bank shot rejected by Leslie. That looked like it was going to be in the hole by Burwell, but out of nowhere comes Leslie. Mississippi Valley State leads by 1 over the Georgia Dogs with under 50 seconds to play in the half. Boy, this is a heck of a play by Leslie, and there's the 3 before that. And that is the 8-3 hit by Mississippi Valley State in this half. And here's the block we were talking about previously. Lamb now has 7 points for Mississippi Valley State. He came in late in the half. 49.7 seconds left until the intermission here in Athens. Sean Wood's philosophy, like Rick Pitino and his Untouchables, recruit, family atmosphere. You're always welcome. Keep in touch. We care about you. We'll help you after basketball. We have to depend on each other and have to outwork the other team as well. Here's another 3. This one rattles out. Land can't get it to go, and the putback, and knocked away nicely by Price.
Well, the one big thing that this basketball team from Valley does better than they did last year, I've talked about it, is they get the ball to the open people, and the open people make some shots. Last year, low percentage from the 3, low percentage from the field, and free throw as well. This year, in the preseason games, and even talking with the coach before the game, this is a basketball team that he feels like has really improved shooting the ball.
1 second differential between the shot clock and the game clock, and there's a miss on the drive, and Valley State should have the last shot. Probably won't take them long to take it either. There's another carrying the ball, the Iverson rule. That's the 3rd or 4th against Mississippi Valley State.
And the amazing thing about that is they're not taking the ball anywhere, Charlie Mack. They're just doing it right there standing. And if you're going to do that, generally you do it taking the basketball to the basket, and that hadn't happened.
11 turnovers against the Devils. Time running out is with 2 seconds left. The miss, and then the putback and the shot from the baseline is no good. And that is the end of the first half here in Athens. And it's been quite a basketball game. 37-36, the visitors from Itta, Mississippi. We've got halftime activities coming up, and don't forget the feature that Bob Neal has with Coach Mark Fox. You're watching CSS and the lid lifter of a new season.
The dance dogs, ladies and gentlemen. Georgia fans, it's time to get on your feet and get to clapping for the Spring Around the Farms Chicken Dance. The fan with the best chicken dance wins a $50 gift card to the UGA bookstore. So let's see your best moves.
Well, the underdogs from Mississippi Valley State University have a 1-point lead on Georgia. Georgia broke out whip with a 6-0 run to begin the ball game, and now Mississippi Valley State has come back and they're bombing it from outside. 70% shooting from behind the arc, and that's why they're up by 1.
Well, the difference in this basketball game right now is not a big difference, but I think Mississippi Valley has done a nice job of getting by out front. The defense, and then when the defense helps, they throw it to somebody for the 3, and they've made 7 out of 10. The other factor is that they've just come down the floor a couple of times off the fast break and shot the 3. Georgia didn't get to them quick enough, Charlie Mack, and so not defending the dribbler, not getting to the three-point shooter is hurting Georgia a little bit. That's the reason this basketball game is 37-36.
Let's check out the stats now, and as we mentioned, you look at the three-point field goal percentages. Georgia is shooting 50%, but again, the Delta Devils 70% from behind the arc, and each team has 11 turnovers.
Well, both these basketball teams are pretty much, they're pretty close. They've done a pretty good job of doing the things that they do well. I think we talked about Mississippi Valley, how they shot the basketball a little bit better this first half.
All right, we've got more coming up on our halftime program here on CSS. Opening game of the season, Valley State up by 1 on the Dogs. Fast and furious, and a lot of folks making shots, Wimp. And to begin this thing, we got Mississippi Valley State and Angelo Jackson. D'Angelo bombing it from outside over on the left wing on a step back.
Well, certainly you see these first three highlights of Mississippi Valley getting really good looks at the three, then knocking them home. And the defensive pressure was not very good by Georgia. So you see exactly why they're 7 for 10 from the three. And then you're going to see a Georgia basketball team that does a pretty good job in the last part of these highlights, getting the ball down the floor, getting the basketball to the basket off the fast break. Here
Speaking of fast break, right on cue.
Right there, and the easy shot right there. And they're making good passes here, little penetration, just like Mississippi Valley did. And towards the end here, you'll see a really good fast break down to the basket. Easy shot, easy dunk by Mr. Leslie.
Leslie finished with 6, the leading score, with 8. And the leading scorer was Robinson with 9. 1-point ball game. We got a dandy going here in Athens, Georgia. Stick around. A lot to come. And let's check the scoring from the first half individually, first of all, as Mississippi Valley State holds that 1-point lead over the Georgia Bulldogs in the first regular season game of the season for both these ball clubs, Wimp.
Well, certainly, we talked about Terrence Joyner, how good he was, and so Jackson has absolutely come in and poured it in there. Lamb's played well. I think Robinson has really penetrated pretty well. Not only has he scored 9 points, but he's gotten the basketball to the open people by his drives, and then Leslie with 8 points.
There's Coach Mark Fox hoping to turn this thing around here in the second half. Coach Wimp Sanderson, as we mentioned in the top of the broadcast, you won over 350 games in your career. And I think one of the most impressive things was being named the SEC Coach of the Decade in the 80s. And this is not too shabby right here, Coach. 17 years, and you won 66.5% of your games and 10 times in the NCAA tournament, SEC championships, regular season, and tournament. And you had some very fond memories. You had some great players, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what we had first of all, great players. You can't win without great players, and had great players and great assistant coaches, and University of Alabama was a fun place to coach in the 80s.
Hand check out front. We've seen several hand check calls. Philando Jones, a junior from Greenwood, Mississippi, who was an outstanding player in football and basketball and played in the Alabama-Mississippi High School All-Star Hoops game. That's his first foul. Georgia down one, trying to retake the lead here in the embryo stages here, the second half. Ware can't get it to go, and here comes Mississippi Valley State. Jackson, who played a great half, will give it up to Joyner. Trying to get it into Holmes, a big guy. He'll back out to the wing, and now here he goes in there. And a hand check on Price. Boy, Holmes is not bashful. He started the game off that way.
Well, he sure did, and he doesn't mind taking it to the hole on the dribble drive, left-handed. And it's again, as I repeat, it's hard to defend these dribblers. And it's a little bit interesting to see that Georgia went to some of their triangle offense this last trip down. We'll see what happens as the game progresses.
Looking low. Baseline move against Nolte. Steps. Turnover, Mississippi Valley State. Well,
good defensive pressure in there by Nolte then. He did a nice job of really defending the dribbler and ended up with the offense traveling. Now here you see your continued pressure and press by Mississippi Valley.
Mississippi Valley State has committed 12 turnovers in the game so far. Again, Georgia's second possession in the second half to try and get the lead back. Leslie in the middle to the big fella who misses it way off and out of the pack. Here comes Joyner. Lob. Shot. Nope. Loose. Nobody wants it. Georgia's going to have it.
Last trip down the floor, Georgia went to the triangle offense, got the basketball inside the big Price, but he couldn't make anything happen. I think the coaches of Georgia decided to go ahead and show some of this triangle tonight, and decided that at the halftime, try to get something going.
Robinson had a very good first half, moves to the free throw line, passes up the shot and goes to Price.
Well, Robinson had the shot there. He did a nice job of getting the basketball over the screen for a little jump shot in the top of the lane. He selected to throw the basketball deep, and the offensive was not ready, so he ended up turning the ball over.
Long shot, and it is good, and Valley State remains hot from behind the arc. That is their 8th 3 of the ball game. And
they're shooting, aren't they, Charlie Mack?
Shooting over 70% from long range. That's 14 points now for Jackson. D'Angelo Jackson, who's played an exceptional game, 4-point lead for the visitors. Nolte, ball fakes the 3. In there, backdoor cut, Leslie layup, and that's a great shot because he didn't have a good handle on it.
No, he did not, and Leslie's in the corner, and that basketball goes to Price, and Price makes a little dish there to Leslie, and of course Leslie being the kind of leaper he is, he laid her home.
Georgia cuts the lead to 2. Jones looking in the Holmes, and there's a bounce. Shut down. Pull-up jumper, 17-footer won't go. Loose out front, Robinson on the run, 3-on-2 break. Robinson, lob, Leslie another stop. The frequent flyer ties it up at 4. Foul on the 3, I think Robinson committed the foul, and you don't like to see that happen, do you, Wimp?
Well, you sure don't. Really good move down here on the offensive fast break. Get the basketball out on the mistake, and Robinson's going hard and kicks that basketball to Leslie. And we talked about what an athlete he is, and great basketball player. I'll tell you what, this Mississippi Valley team is pretty much unconscious. And the problem that Georgia's having is they're not getting any pressure on the shooter, Charlie Mack. And what happens to you there, you're so afraid they're going to dribble by you that your pressure is not good. And when you get up on them real tight, if you're not quick enough to move your feet, they're going to shoot a layup on you. The defense for Georgia needs to be, to improve.
Mississippi Valley up 2 and pressure in the backcourt. Just token pressure. Robinson. Top of the key, Nolte. Robinson pull up tough, 17-footer straight. Tied again, this time at 42. Boy, you just don't know what you're going to get in the first game.
No, you don't.
Boy, this one's a dandy. Driving the coaches crazy, but it's a dandy for the spectators. Tough shot off the glass. And that is Philando Jones, who last year averaged about 16 points a game and 6.5 boards plus 3.5 assists. He comes out of Mississippi Delta Junior College in Moorhead, and that place they call where the Southern crosses a dog.
It's all exactly about right.
It's all about trains. Nice back shot. Sweet move by Jeremy Price. They're tied again, this time at 44.
Well, they run a little backdoor cut, a little flex cut off of Price, and when the defense helps, then they're able to get the basketball into the postman, and Price made a really good move there and banked her home.
Pull up three. Good again. Burwell. Man, are they shooting lights out.
Yeah, you got to get more defensive pressure. You can't live with that kind of pressure. The lack of it.
Georgia down three. Bad pass over Price and cleared off by Burwell. Up ahead, Jones. Feet inside. 25 to shoot. They'll reset. Mississippi Valley State won only 9 games last year and lost 23. But this is a whole new basketball team, and when they get their other transfers in, they can win the SWAC. Foul on the three again. That's the second time that's happened in this half. This time it'll go against Dustin Ware.
Well, one of your cardinal rules and coaches, don't foul the three-point shooter. And
Mark Fox wants a timeout. Just under 15 minutes to go in the second half here in Athens. And the home folks are down 3.
In 2003 and 2004, and he took all 50 minutes of the Bulldogs' double overtime victory over Georgia Tech. Since leaving Athens in 2004, he's played 6 seasons in the NBA, and last year he returned to UVA to complete his degree in speech communication. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big Bulldogs welcome back to Damian Wilkins.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Geico. 15 minutes to save you 15% or more on car insurance. Everybody else is doing it. Why don't you? Call Geico at 1-800-947-AUTO. That's 1-800-947-AUTO or visit geico.com. 5 lead changes 7 times.
well, I certainly want to give Mississippi Valley a lot of credit. At the same time, Georgia's going to have to get with the program defensively and get up in their grill, get some of these shots contested. One of the biggest things in college basketball is contest the shots. Contest the three as much as you possibly can. If you don't contest it, don't let them get a real good look, you're in trouble. So right now, Georgia is struggling defensively, and that's the reason this score is 48-44.
Burwell, the senior from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the transfer from Maryland Eastern Shore. Shot about 66% from the stripe last year. He's got the stroke going, Wimp, and 5-point lead for Mississippi Valley State.
You know, they don't have a real big basketball team, Charlie Mack. They're all about the same size, but they're pretty athletic, and there's a lot of them.
That's the first free throws for Mississippi Valley State. Now they're up by 6, their largest lead. Burwell has 10 points. Ware against pressure from Burwell. Georgia's having to work for everything. Thornton spins out front, the freshman. First action of the second half here. Nolte on top. Bellied up. 10 to shoot.
Pretty good defensive trip. Excuse me, Charlie Mack. Pretty good defensive trip by Mississippi Valley.
4 to shoot. Robinson slips and scoops it. Misses it. No good. Robinson stays with it. Misses again. Terrence Joyner. Number 3, high school Genesis 1 Christian.
Zone defense, Charlie Mack. 3-2 zone. Trying to take a little bit of this penetration and pitching away, and some of these shots that didn't have any pressure on.
Home shot is rejected by Price. Georgia down 6.
Probably a pretty good move by Georgia, just to try the zone, just a couple of trips, just to see if they could throw Mississippi Valley off kilter, maybe get them a little bit better defensively. Most of the time, when you go to the zone, you don't think about pressure, but it may give Mississippi Valley a little trouble.
Forcing Georgia to take most of that shot clock. Now we're down to 8 seconds. Ware crossover into the lane, goes up, scoop shot, no. Follow up, yes. Price. Lead cut to 4.
3-2 zone. 3-2 zone by Georgia, trying to change defenses, change tempos a little bit, change the defense a little bit, maybe give Mississippi Valley a little bit different look.
3 misses. Thornton can't handle it. Ball goes out of bounds off whom? Well, Mark Fox got his degree in sports psychology when he was at Kansas, and he certainly does need that degree tonight.
I would agree with you totally.
They're the 3-point field goals. Mississippi Valley State 9 of 13. Georgia just 3 of 7.
Well,
and Valley State up by 4.
That's the difference in the basketball game, 18-point difference.
Leslie in the corner. The high flyer comes out, dumps it down low to give and go. The shot is short. No good. Rebound snatched away by Holmes. Valley State trying to extend that 4-point lead. They've been up by as much as 6, and that came in this half. Georgia opened the game with a 6-0 run. That 3-2 zone, would you call it also a point drop zone?
A little bit of a point drop. Yes, it shows 3-2, but maybe a little bit more of a drop.
No, one thing it's given Georgia fits. Burwell going to split that zone and go up for a very difficult shot, and it's good.
Well, the little man got right up the seams of the zone and got the easy shot. They've got to certainly close it up and not let dribble penetration go through that zone.
Nolte bellied up. They're bellying up everybody. And chasing, and a buck foul out front. Mississippi Valley State is up 52-46 to equal their largest lead of the game. And here's the shot that put them up 6 on a driving layup by Kevin Burwell, a senior from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Be sure to check out Talkin' Hoops on CSS. That starts in December. It's an exciting and in-depth look at college basketball from top-notch experts who know the games the best. Stay on the ball with Talkin' Hoops coming up in December right here on CSS. Well, the more physical team, looks like the more confident team is Mississippi Valley State.
I would say the confident part is correct. Georgia misses going to this triangle offense. They missed Trey in there, really, to get some offense started. But I think the biggest problem we have Georgia has right now is the fact that they are having a very difficult time defending. And Mississippi Valley doesn't mind shooting at Charlie Mack.
They don't have a conscious Sean Woods when he played for Patino. If anybody passed up a shot, they'd be sitting on the bench.
And you got a couple of guys that only shoot when they have the ball.
That's right. That's an oddity, isn't it? When they get it, they shoot
That's exactly right.
Leslie in trouble, has it taken away from him. Here's Joyner against Leslie, and Leslie blocks it. Great hustle plays, he stays with it. We're going to move it up front and get the numbers, and before he can get into the front court, he's fouled.
Well, Leslie has good timing on this. He gets the ball stripped from him, but he's ready to time it. Boom, he times it just right, and deflects that shot and contests that shot, and that's what we're talking about. Be sure you do as much contesting as you can. He contested that layup.
Where to Robinson? He's going to drive the baseline and go up and bank it in there. Cuts the lead down to 4. Robinson has 13. Leslie has 12 for the home folks here, the Georgia Bulldogs. And the crowd is coming to life, pulling their dogs hopefully back into this ball game. A runner in the lane and a foul inside the lane, and a 2-shot foul at the line is Darian Donald, a senior from Columbus, Mississippi, and a transfer from East Mississippi Community College. Will go to the stripe.
I don't want to get real technical for people watching the game, but Mississippi Valley has gone to a spread offense where they spread it real wide. They take their postman, Charlie Mack, and go screen on the ball. And he screens on the ball. That guy that gets screened for drives it to the basket, and the postman rolls back to the basket, and they certainly get a shot off of that, and it's hard to defend. And Georgia has gone back to the man-to-man defense after the timeout.
Barnes out, Price is back in for the Dogs. Second shot at the line, Donald, and he tickles a twine. And now Mississippi Valley State is up 54-48. We got 11 minutes to go, and hang on to your hat. Mississippi Valley State 7-7 from the line, all here in the second half. Leslie gets hand checked on the wing by Donald. Robinson's going to play it in, baseline down to our left. Mississippi Valley State has hit 9 threes so far in this game, and they have the lead, as we mentioned, 54-48.
And they go zone defense, Charlie Mack, on the out of bounds play, and they're going to stay zone this trip. A lot of teams do that. A lot of coaches do that.
Good ball movement and firing it from long range. Leslie can't get it to go, and Valley has another rebound. They have 26 rebounds now, and Georgia has 24. There's a foul inside on the drive, and Mississippi Valley State will go back to the line.
The Georgia foul is on number 3, Dustin Ware. That's his second team.
Dustin Ware will pick up the personal foul as Coach Mark Fox looks on, and right behind him to your right with a blue shirt is the new athletic director, Greg McGarity, and next to him is Tim Hicks, the sports information director for basketball. People are really excited to have Greg McGarity back home, a Georgia graduate, played tennis here, left in the 90s, went to Florida, the number 2 man. There's another foul. Greg, the number 2 man, to Jeremy Foley at the University of Florida. Greg is back home, and everybody is extremely excited about his positive impact.
Well, he's going to do a very fine job. He's a good person. He's had a lot of experience, and of course, this is home for Greg, and he'll do a terrific job. I'm really happy to see him here.
Setting up the offense at long range is Joyner, and he's given a big cushion.
Here's your spread.
Yep.
And you're going to see, here comes your screen in just a minute.
15 to shoot. Corner, 8 to shoot. Hard drive to the hoop. Missing the shot, but getting fouled and going to the line. And Mississippi Valley State here in the last couple of minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, is making a habit of going to the free throw line, where tonight they're 7 of 7.
Well, they're playing a little bit slower on offense. If they don't get anything on the break, they're coming down with a spread with the big man in the middle going and setting the screens. And frankly, Georgia's struggling a little bit defending that dribbler as we talked about in the first half.
Orlando Smith misses a charity toss. That's their first miss as they're 7 of 8. Orlando Smith had double-doubles in both exhibition games, 13 and 12 rebounds against Victory, and then 18 points and 20 rebounds against Delta State. And Sean Wood says he is the toughest player he has ever coached. Misses both free throws, but they've got the rebound. And they've got a 6-point lead under 10 minutes to go.
That's a big rebound there. You end up with a team missing 2 free throws, and then you let them sneak inside of you and get the rebound. Good play by Mississippi Valley.
Next for Mississippi Valley State, a trip to Indiana and Bloomington on the 16th. They'll play at Assembly Hall. Fight for the loose basketball after miss, and there's Holmes missing the putback. He'll get it back. And we've got a foul on Mississippi Valley State.
Over the back.
Over the
Big
back,
man.
and Georgia's got the ball down by 6, 9:32 to play now.
Jason Holmes, a big guy. He's their biggest guy. He just sort of went over their back in there. This is getting it pretty physical, and Georgia certainly needs to get physical with them and get a few second and third shots if they miss.
Angelo Jackson has played a terrific, Vincent Williams has played a good ball game for Georgia. Backing in Price, and he's fouled. Price, the big fella, is really played well.
Yeah, he's done okay. They're trying to get the basketball inside to the big man. That's what the triangle defense, the offense does. They run people off of that screen, and then when the defense helps, they try to get the basketball inside. Unfortunately for Georgia, Trey Tompkins is injured and can't play, so that really affects them some as far as their post play is concerned. But Price has played okay.
Price, a freshman All-SEC 2 years ago. Misses the toss. Nolte tried to keep it alive, but can't do it. As that ball seems like it has Velcro on it, or a magnet. Everything seems to be going to Mississippi Valley State, but they're fighting their way to the basketball.
Well, they sure are. They're going to do a lot of zero penetration. There it goes again.
Jackson out front. They're going to run that clock down, as Wimp was telling you, with the spread now down to 9. The drive by Jackson, the pull up, and it's off the front rim. Valley State another rebound. Everything's going to the boys in green so far.
Well, the offensive boards by Mississippi Valley has been much better than the defensive boards by Georgia.
Hand check.
Wow.
11. That is Vincent Williams. Back in comes Gerald Robinson. And Dustin Ware goes out for the Dogs. 8:30 to play. Fouls on Jackson is second.
I thought Williams coming in gave a little bit more pressure to Georgia's defense. Ware came out. But this Mississippi Valley team has gone to the line enough in these last 5 or 6 minutes to really, after getting hardly any free throws in the first half to the Charlie Mack, and then they're looks like they're in line shooting it now.
6'9" Dante Williams, a freshman, back in for Georgia. Lolte is out. 56-49. Biggest lead for Mississippi Valley State. It comes with 8:30 to go. And we got a turnover against Georgia, and Mark Fox did not like the call. $13 turnovers against Georgia. Joyner going to spread it out and try to add to that 7-point lead. Pound it again.
Good defensive pressure, but the amazing thing about this, Charlie Mack, is all 4 of those calls have been made where the guy just standing there dribbling instead of taking it to the hole. Most of the time you see them, try to take it to the hole and they palm it, but these guys will palm it standing still with it.
Feed down low and pushed inside was 15, Dante Williams. Speaking of palm of the ball, you had a guy named Hollywood play guard for you.
Hollywood Robinson, yeah.
Good thing they didn't have that call in, huh?
Yeah, I guess. He was an athlete, though.
Boy, he was.
Yeah. You talk about only shooting when you had the ball.
He did that.
You could fake a pass to him, he'd shoot it. No, he's a good player.
Boy, was he.
Yeah, he was a good player.
Latrell Sprewell, he goes on and on. And who was the best player you had?
Oh, heck, I don't know. I had so many good ones, I don't know. And
how many in the NBA?
At one stretch there we had 16, I think, and we didn't make them NBA players, but I always felt like they were a little bit better when they left than they were before they got there.
Somebody made them NBA
we
players.
didn't do that, but we had fun with them.
Dante Williams can't get it to go. Georgia down 6. We're at the 8-minute mark in the second half. Mississippi Valley State trying to pull off the upset. And as we mentioned in the open of the broadcast, each team expected to be a whole lot better than they were last year. Knocked away by Williams, snatched away from Jackson. A foul called on a reach-in by Mississippi Valley State. And we got a timeout coming up. Mississippi Valley State up by 6. A lot more big plays to come, that's for sure. Georgia needs more than Mississippi Valley does to pull this one out of the fire. We're coming right back.
The kid that Joyner that we highlighted has played pretty steady throughout the game. I don't know what his stats are, but he's I don't know what the second half stats look like.
They're bringing a copy over. This thing doesn't work. Mississippi Valley State trying to pull off the upset. We're under 8 minutes to go, and Georgia's got some work to do to pull this one out, as we mentioned, out of the fire. And the percentages from long range, Mississippi Valley State is 69.2%. Georgia just 37.5%. And as far as the rebounds go, it is 25 for Georgia and 32 for Mississippi Valley State, and so many of those are offensive boards.
18 points in threes.
That's huge. As we come back, Georgia at the free throw line. Georgia has not been very good from the stripe tonight, just 9 of 14. Chris Barnes, the 6'8" senior at the line, started 10 games last season. And he knocks down that charity toss. Last year only shot 56.5% from the line. A man who has a history of knee problems, but he is healthy, they say now. He's a senior. And they're expecting a lot of things from him. A lot of good things. Off the front rim, Leslie Robinson. They'll set up the play. Georgia will. Down 5. Williams over goes to Robinson. He's going to move. Baseline move. Hanks fires, banks it good. Sensational play by Robinson, and Georgia's trailing by 3 now. Need a stop. Need a stop. Shot is forced up, but
Defensive
maybe not. So
intensity
there's great
picked up
body
then,
control.
but really good turnaround jump shot by State. But at least the defensive intensity was a little bit higher level for Georgia on that trip, Charlie Mack.
Leslie moved to the hole. Here's a pull-up, and he short arms it off the front rim, and the rebound is claimed by D'Angelo Jackson, who's played a whale of a game tonight for the Delta Devils. So is this man, Joyner. He misses that one, though. Georgia gets a rebound, outlet pass Robinson. Ball got away from him, but still goes in there. It just left his hand prematurely.
Well,
but
he
he
did
gets
get away
lucky.
from him, but he got the good bounce. The crowd is getting back into it, Charlie Mack.
You can hear him. You can see him. And the players can feel it. Let's see how much they feel it. Defense, you got to feel it. You got to find out what's behind your belt buckle. And this is the time to do it with just over 6 minutes to go. Georgia challenged the shot and will send Darian Donald to the line.
Here you see the really good run out by Robinson, and actually the basketball left his hands kind of unsettled, but he got that ball back in there.
3-point game, 6:11 to go. Darian Donald, last year started slowly, became a starter by the end of the season. Georgia brings in 3 fresh players with Ware, Nolte, and Price, and Leslie Barnes. Let's see who the third will be to go out. It's going to be Dante Williams. Donald trying to extend the 4-point lead for the visitors from the heart of the Mississippi Delta. Donald, free throw, rattles home. 5-point game. 6 minutes left to go. Williams picks up the dribble and gives it off to Robinson. Ware around the screen from Robinson. Feed into Price. Nice catch. And a bump from behind. And so Price will be back at the free throw line and try to cut into that 5-point lead.
Well, Georgia trying to establish a little bit of a low post. That's sort of where their postman hangs out in that triangle offense. And Mississippi Valley staying in a man-to-man defense. They got the basketball inside to Price. And Price has got the little bank shots in there, end up fouled or shoved by Mississippi Valley. So you're going to see them trying to get the basketball inside a little bit more screening inside off this offense.
Price good in the first toss.
But, you know, Charlie Mack, difference in the basketball game is 18 points difference in the threes. I mean, you can cut it, slice it, and hack it any way you want to. Nine threes versus 3, it's a difference in the basketball game.
Price cans of both. Here comes the crowd, and now here comes Mississippi Valley State in a 3-point game. It's been a while since Georgia has led. Playing belly-up defense, and there's a hand check and a reach-in by Vincent Williams out front. Terrence Joyner.
It is so difficult to play defense to not play defense with your hands. And the screen occurred there, but the foul occurred just before the screen. And Georgia had fairly good pressure, but they've got to get their hands out of defensive play.
Joyner set that screen, and Jackson at the line as he was pushed out front by Vincent Williams, who goes out of the game, replaced by Travis Leslie. He had 17 rebounds against Auburn last year and a career high 34 points against Vanderbilt. Toss good. Pressure in backcourt. One-on-one Robinson against Jackson. Jackson has 16 points now for the Delta Devils. Lead 5. Ware. Nice feed in. There's a double team. Price backing in, turning with a left hand. No off the front rim, and here comes Mississippi Valley State on the run. Defender is set in the lane, and the shot is no good, and there's a big scramble for the basketball. And underneath the tall trees is Dustin Ware, stands at 5'11", and he is fouled, I think. And it'll be Georgia's ball, and the Dogs want a timeout. 5:15 to play in the game. 62-57. Mississippi Valley State. Georgia's not had a lead since the 1:14 mark in the first half. Friends, you can stay up to date with the experts of Southern College Sports. Follow us on Twitter at CSS Sports and find us on Facebook as well. And the two leading scorers in the game, Robinson with 17 for Georgia and D'Angelo Jackson with 16 for Mississippi Valley State. Here we go, Georgia's ball, down 5. Ware against Joyner. Man-to-man defense for the Devils. A reach in over on the wing right in front of the Georgia bench by D'Angelo Jackson.
This Valley basketball team, this second half, 9 for 14 and certainly 13 for 15 from the line, which is big. Last year, this basketball team shot in the 60s from the free throw line.
Just under 64%, but not tonight. And Leslie strokes home a free throw. 5:04 to play. 13 points for Leslie. Now 14 and cuts deeper into that lead, 62-59. The visitors with a lead in the ball and now 5 minutes to go. High post Holmes. Gotta hurry up. Almost got the 5-second call there. On the switch out front. Off the curve. Robinson all over D'Angelo Jackson. So it goes back out to Joyner. We got 9 seconds on the shot clock. Double team at the block. Wild shot up there. Great defense. Georgia scrambled for the ball, and Mississippi Valley State, as they have so many times in the second half, comes up with the ball, and over on the far side, Gerald Robinson gets a reach-in foul from behind. That stops the clock. 4:24 to go, and that is Robinson's 4th personal.
Well, certainly a better defensive effort by Georgia than Charlie Mack. The problem was that when they got the basketball shot, they didn't get the rebound. Ended up with Mississippi Valley having it for another 35 seconds. So we got to rebound it, but it looked like the effort for Georgia was certainly there, and they worked hard defensively.
Free throw miss. Mississippi Valley is 13 of 16 from the line, I think. 4:24 to play. Joyner hits the second. Here comes Georgia. Ware with it. 4:20 to go. 63-59. Mississippi Valley State. Robinson pull up straight away, 17-footer in and out of there. The tap up, no good. Leslie, ball loose, and there's Mississippi Valley State with it again, and Jackson on the run. Clears it out front, going to run that clock whip with under 4 minutes to go, and the lead of 63-59.
Going to run the clock, we'll spread the floor, going to get a lot of screens outside on the ball. Terrence Joyner would like to go one-on-one from out front and see if they can defend him. There's your screen, and there's your shot.
Pull up three, that's a huge shot. Huge. 66-59, back to a 7-point push for Mississippi Valley State. And Georgia trying to cut into that lead. It's been hard. Leslie covered up, comes out to the wing, picks up the dribble, goes baseline in the pass, reverse layup, Price, good! And he's got one foot at the line. Mississippi Valley State with a big shot on their last possession, and the crowd, this kind of calmed them a little bit. Georgia down 5. Well, Jeremy Price has cut the Mississippi Valley State lead to 5, and he's got a free throw at the line, and here's a feed into him, and the big fella working hard. Great hands, great body movement, and great enthusiasm, trying to bring the Dogs back from down 5. 3:11 to go.
Charlie Mack, a really good down and under. Got the ball on the block on the right side and came back under on the left side, laid it in and got fouled. And Georgia, hoping this is going to take the place of the three-point shot that they gave up a minute ago on the other end. So Price to the line. Time's running out for Georgia. And the difference in this basketball game has been the ability to make a lot of threes by Mississippi Valley, and Georgia struggled defensively out there.
Three-point play completed by Price, and the Devils' lead is 4.
Going to a 1-2-2 zone press.
Price at the line is 5 of 6 tonight. There's the Georgia press, as Webb told you. Intercepted, tipped away by Price. 3-on-1. Price will take it to the hole, and a big fella kisses it off the glass. We got a 2-point game. 3 kicks under 3 minutes to play.
Well, Georgia comes out in a little 1-2-2 zone press.
Wow. The big guy at 6'8", 270 can motor. Great hands. Price now 17 points for the Dogs. He is tied for the team lead with Gerald Robinson, and Price is back at the line where just moments ago he completed a 3-point play and trying to do it again. Dances home, got the shooter's roll, and look at here, 1-point game, just under 3 minutes to go. 66-65. A quick pull-up 3 off to the left, no good. The follow-up of Holmes is blocked away, and now Georgia's got it. A 2 can give Georgia back the lead.
Well, certainly this little 1-2-2 zone press has been a great thing for Georgia. They've picked their tempo up defensively. They're playing a little bit harder, getting a little bit better shots, and they're right back in this basketball game.
Price, who has 18 points, going to spin in the lane, pump up a shot, get it! Price is on fire. You talk about a difference maker. This big guy is putting on a show here late in Athens.
Well, he's no doubt about it. He's got that basketball inside, shot the gap on the...
That's the first Georgia lead since 1:14 to go in the first half. 8-0 run by the Georgia Bulldogs. Price's career high 22 last year against Tulane. Price, this one won't go, and Devils have it. They can get the lead back. 2:20 to go. 8-0 run for Georgia, as we mentioned. Jordan put up a quick three a moment ago. Will he do it again? Instead of running the clock down. 2-minute mark now left in the game. Georgia 67, Mississippi Valley State 66. And a real dandy here in the first game for CSS this season. Huge three. Making it 2.
Boy, with that absolute huge shot there. Georgia did a good job of double teaming. Mississippi Valley came right down and popped it.
Darian Donald gives Mississippi Valley State a 1-point lead, 68-67 with 1:42 to go. And the Georgia Bulldogs want a timeout. They've got 2 remaining. There have been 7 ties and 7 lead changes now in this game. I don't think most people expect the barn burner to open the season, do they?
Well, they certainly did. Not this kind of basketball game, but you've got to give Mississippi Valley a lot of credit. They've hung in there. They've done the things that they needed to do. They shot the basketball well. They didn't come in here scared, Charlie Mack. They came in here ready to play. The Georgia basketball team struggled a little bit defensively, and we've got a barn burner going into this last minute 41.
There you see big Mr. Price, who has 20 points, and he has 5 rebounds. Both teams back out on the court. A lot of nail biting here in Stegeman Coliseum here in Athens, Georgia. Some people figured Mississippi Valley State winning only 9 games last year. This is not the same team they had.
No, it's not the same team.
And they've got some real talent, as Mississippi Valley State has the 47th recruiting class in America.
Well,
and you can see why. And then they've got 2 guys that aren't playing.
And Sean said, that this basketball team was much better mentally, which I thought was a big statement right there. He thought they were tougher mentally than they had been at all last year. So the maturity factors set into play, and now we've got a 1-point basketball game with 1:42. It's anybody's game.
They've reset the game clock. Price has 20 points, 5 rebounds, and has scored the last 8 points for Georgia. This will be Robinson taking it strong to the baseline, and he's fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line with 1:36 to play, and Georgia down 1.
Well, they got the baseline cleared out a little bit. A little open spot there. The dribble drive by Robinson, who takes it to the basket pretty fast anyway, and got by the defense, laid it up, missed a shot, going to the line to shoot the free throw.
Robinson's first trip to the free throw line tonight is back in the game for Valley State. 25, Kevin Burwell, who's had an exceptional game.
So it's Robinson's first free throw trip forever, because he didn't play last year.
Right.
So this is the first one since he transferred from Tennessee State. And he got the roll.
Well, you hear the crowd respond, and at Tennessee State, Robinson shot 76%. In his 2 years at Tennessee State, he was named the OVC Player of the Week 6 times. And he scored 1,021 points in 2 years. He misses that free throw. Tie game is 68. 8th time. 68-68. Clock down to 1:25 to play. Devils with a court spread. Burwell working on Ware. Ware forces him out. 10 to shoot. Ball screen. On the switch, Price has Harwell. Now the switch back with Ware. Harwell's going to take it in there. Out of control charge. 1:02 to go.
Well, big play right there. Charge is called. Mississippi Valley used a lot of clock then. We got her down to 102 now. It's going to be a big possession for Georgia.
Nolte, great job of standing his ground there to take the charge and give Georgia back the ball. Pass down low from Nolte in the basket. What a pass and what a play by Leslie, who banks it home. Leslie has 16 points. Timeout, Mississippi Valley State. We've got our player of the game. It's our Geico go-to player, number 50, Jeremy Price. And he has had quite a ball game. We mentioned that he has 20 points. He's been good on the boards as well, and he has won our Geico go-to player of the game. You can save 15% or more on car insurance. Call Geico, 1-800-947-AUTO. That's 1-800-947-AUTO, or visit geico.com. Price has done it all, especially here in the second half. 7 of 11 from the field, 5 rebounds. Georgia up 2, 70-68. Strategy.
Well, first of all, Mark Fox is going to be sure that they do a really good job of defending without the foul. That's the first thing when they go to defense. They've got to defend without the foul. They've got to guard the dribbler. After they get the ball on offense, which is going to be, may not get it back much, but if they do, then they've got to really be sure that they run the clock and shoot the last shot. So I think the important thing here is that they defend without the foul.
Each team in the double bonus. Georgia 2 timeouts remaining. Mississippi Valley 3. 44.9 seconds to play. Mississippi Valley State with a basketball. Side front court. Burwell against Gerald Robinson. Give it up to Donald. 17 to shoot. 32 seconds on the game clock. Ball loose down low, knocked away. Price got it off the leg of Amos Sturdivant. A great play by Price. He's doing it all tonight.
Well, he certainly has. He's not only been good offensively, but done a nice job of protecting the basket defensively. And, of course, Mississippi Valley is going to foul pretty quick here, Charlie Mack.
Nolte unguarded, plays it into Robinson. Dogs up 70-68. A bump in backcourt by D'Angelo Jackson, and Robinson will be at the free throw line. Just under 24 seconds to go. Jackson has just committed his 5th foul, and he will leave the game. He'll be replaced by Philando Jones. Jackson leaves with 16 points.
Well, the biggest thing that Georgia needs to do is to be sure they get the ball in the best free throw shooter's hands possible, and not sure they did that. Robinson's missed the first one.
He's 1 of 3
here because this would give them the 3-point lead. And if they didn't foul, the worst they could come out with would be a tie.
Now 3-point lead. 20 seconds to go. Georgia press. They get it in front court. Just in time, 13 seconds to play. A fake and a 3-pointer long range off to the left, no good. Bodies collide and a push off on Price.
Yeah, Price got him on the inside.
As Sturdivant hit the deck.
Yep.
Keep in mind, Georgia has a 3-point lead, 10 seconds to go.
And Charlie Mack, this is huge. You must rebound the missed shot on the free throw. You must block out, something that coaches work on all the time. You've got to block out, and if he does miss it, you've got to secure the rebound.
And what Wimp has been talking about, the 3-point field goal shooting, Mississippi Valley State 10 of 16, and Georgia just 3 of 8, and Georgia has fought and clawed its way back, especially with Jeremy Price, who has just been a man possessed here in the second half to give Georgia that 3-point lead. Again, 10 seconds to play. Orlando Smith at the free throw line, the senior from Columbus, Mississippi. Not a good free throw shooter last year. He has been tonight, though. Lead cut to 2. Nolte is out for Georgia. Replaced by Chris Barnes. Mississippi Valley State from the line tonight. Wimp is 15 of 17, all in the second half. Smith, next toss is good. Timeout, Georgia. 10 seconds to play, and this crowd started off very comfortably as Georgia scored the game's first 6 points, and then here comes Mississippi Valley State clawing back in. And the last lead that Georgia had until late here in the second half was at the 1:14 mark in the first half. And Price, as we said, has just been amazing. He's gotten Georgia the lead and a chance to pull this thing out.
Charlie Mack, let's talk about this last 10 seconds. First of all, if you're Georgia, you got to get the basketball inbounds. That's the most important thing. Secondly, you've got to try to get the basketball to your best free throw shooter. Whatever you want to run to get the ball to him, because he's going to the line to shoot the 2 free throws. But the most important thing is to get it in, get it to the right person, and be ready for him to go to the line and shoot the free throws. So you can bet that Mississippi Valley is going to foul very quickly, and Georgia's going to try to get the basketball to the very best shooter they got on the team.
A lot of folks biting their fingernails down to the quick tonight.
I would imagine the basketball is going to go to Ware.
Yep. And Robinson will play it in. He's not going to have anybody in his face, so.
Or it could go to Leslie. Leslie or Ware, one of the two.
Now he'll be guarded. Quickly jumping up is Cox just into the game. Robinson runs the baseline into Ware and fouled immediately by Kevin Burwell. And just a little over a second that took as the ball was entered in the backcourt. Ware, an excellent free throw shooter. Last year, 82%. By the way, he hit 7 of 8 in the final 48 seconds to beat Georgia Tech here last year.
This situation here is 2 free throws. You must rebound if you're Mississippi Valley, get that thing down the floor and get your shot off. If you're Georgia something, you got to stop that.
Big free throw. Ware, the junior from Powder Springs, Georgia, went to North Cobb Christian. He's been a starter the last season and a half.
Now here's a good coaching point. Let's say that Ware makes this free throw. That puts him up 3. So a lot of coaches in this situation, being up 3, Charlie Mack, they will foul and let the guy go to the line to shoot the 2 free throws. Let's see what Mark Fox does. You understand what I'm saying? If he makes the shot, they're 3 up. Some coaches will make them throw the basketball inbounds, run a few seconds off the clock, and then foul, rather than give up the 3-point shot. That's the strategy here. We'll see what strategy Mark uses.
Mark Fox has been in a lot of big games. He had a tremendous career at Nevada. There in his 5 seasons, 66 and 16. Postseason play every year. Ware at the line. He is 3 of 4 from the line tonight, a total of 8 points.
This strategy here, Charlie Mack, is just simply based on Ware making this shot to put them 3 up.
Ware, deep breath. Crowd is hushed. Pumps her up. Off the back iron. Mississippi Valley State's got a chance to win it with a 3, and timeout is called by Mississippi Valley State. We got 6.9 to go. We know that Mississippi Valley State can shoot the 3 tonight. They are 10 of 16, 10 of 17.
Well, that changes our strategy. The strategy for both teams. The ball is going to be out on the side, about not quite at midcourt. They're going to come down and try to get the very best look they possibly can. They take the dribble drive and shoot the 3, whatever the defense will give them. And naturally, when they put that thing up, Charlie Mack, Georgia's got a rebound. They've got to get that ball on the board. It probably won't be but 1 quick rebound.
Again, 6.9 seconds left to play here in Athens. Georgia has a 2-point lead. Could have gone to 3, but Ware could not hit his second charity toss just seconds ago. And Mississippi State will have it across the wayside backcourt, and pulling the trigger will be Philando Jones. Into the game for Mississippi Valley State is Lamb. Into backcourt, Burwell. Burwell's going to take the shot. High off the glass, no good. The rebound, and Georgia has won it after the miss as Leslie claims a rebound. And Georgia has won a hard-fought game, a dramatic win over Mississippi Valley State University. Well, it was some kind of ball game, and I'm not sure we really expected it. Here's a look at the last play, and the miss by Burwell, and then Leslie with a rebound.
Well, Burwell gets it through the defense and gets a pretty good shot. And as we talked about, Georgia had to get that rebound, and they did. And the basketball game was over with. Burwell got it through. The shot was contested on the dribble drive. He missed the shot. Georgia gets the rebound.
Next game for Georgia right here on the 16th against Colorado, and Mississippi Valley State on the 16th goes to Assembly Hall in Indiana. For Wimp Sanderson, this is Charlie Mack. Thanks for joining us as Georgia defeats Mississippi Valley State 72-70. Stay tuned for the Dog Report on CSN.